My name is Andres Leon. It's been a while since I haven't talked. Uh, but I mean, eventually I was gonna come back. I really want to talk about something that I've been checking onto. I saw this. I'm really want to express this. I really like the fact that multiple creators talk about the purpose in finding happiness or try to find happiness in your life, and that's great. And I don't want to be that kind of dude who sticks with the traditional part or like the capitalist part of it, but I might. Uh, because Anna Bumber said a lot of bad things, of course, about life, but he was kind of right in one thing. And I think David Goggins kind of placed it in a similar way, a little bit different, but we can approach it as well. So, Anna Bomber said you need accomplishment. The sense of accomplishment in your life will help you become fulfillment, and then that will lead into happiness. That's a great approach. And because in life, if we actually settle for the things that we already know, for the things that are basic or like normal or easy for us, sticking to watching TV or sticking to your phone and just be in the sofa or be in bed, that's not gonna change your life. Even if, for example, and here's where I wanna link it to what David Goggins said. You already run like a 5K, which is pretty good. I mean, you're already doing what most people want. And you stick to that. Running a 5K every 2 months, maybe three, four, I don't know, two 10Ks a year. Okay, probably. Okay, that's cool. But that's something you already know you can do. And Goggins talks about if you don't actually place like a goal that doesn't actually sound like something unachievable, you won't get that same level of fulfillment and knowledge about yourself as if you will aim for something way much bigger. So, for example, if you're a person who doesn't actually run, okay, or you run like 5Ks, maybe 10Ks, sign up for a marathon. Go ahead and sign up for it. It's gonna be hard, yes. No, nobody denies it. It might not be possible, yeah. Nobody denies it. But that's where the real sense of fulfillment is. That's where you will get the most out of it. And that's why I feel that I did what I did. Okay, I fulfilled the marathon, and I want to go for more. So I'm going for an ultra marathon, and if I achieve it, which I think I might, I still have a lot of fear, and that's another good thing. If I'm battling a fear that I'm having, I of course have plenty of fear about not finishing it, about really having a very bad time, ending up in the ambulance, ending up with a lot of medics around me and helping me out and everything, or ending just lost in the middle of nowhere, which can happen, or like a snake bites me, or I don't know what's gonna happen. Okay, there's a lot of fear in there, and that's good because the fact that I do have a plenty of fears and I am still battling that is where I'm gonna find two things. First, I'm gonna know a lot more about myself. I'm gonna know and have that true confidence comes from this. Okay, if you that's where I like to explain the difference between ego and confidence. Okay, when you have a lot of ego, you think you can do anything in that sense, but ego is not forever. That's the first step to it, and ego is really easy to break. So whenever someone like you say, okay, I maybe can fight a lion, okay, and someone comes up to you and looks at you and say you're weak, well then your ego breaks and then you don't actually think you can kill a lion. So that's something that can happen, but with true confidence that you built like this, like I can say, for example, I can say easily that I can run a marathon like in a Sunday right now. If I would just go out right now and run a marathon, I could. I know that I could because I've challenged my body enough to know that capacity of myself. So if someone calls my mind weak, someone calls me a person that's weak of mind, that's not really uh, strong against the things that life might throw you, I know that's not true. So that won't actually affect me because it's true confidence, the one that I'm building here. And that's the same thing. Okay, for the ultra marathon, I know that I have plenty of fears against it, but if I do achieve it, or even if I don't, I know that I'm gonna find way much more confidence on it and knowledge about my body and my limits and my mind strength doing it, but than not doing it. And that's why settling for a goal that's highly achievable is not really the right answer. That's what Goggins said. But actually, wanting to set a goal that's way bigger than what you actually imagine as possible. Editor Andrew here. The thing that I was talking here it could actually link a lot to what Denzel Washington said. Denzel Washington said, "You should not set up for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living." So if you're actually capable of living to a higher potential than the one you're actually living for right now, that's not gonna actually get you to a whole fulfillment feeling, like signing up for an Ironman and actually prepare for an Ironman, because the hardest part of actually is the training and the preparation for it and actually becoming that person. I already talked about this. You need to become that person. You need to become that person who can train 5 days a week, who can actually run a marathon on a simple Monday and Tuesday, who can actually achieve those kind of things. You need to become that person. You need to actually think of a version of yourself who can actually do that, and then try constantly to become that person. And coming back to Unabomber, which is again, it's not the greatest example of all, but he talked about that, that sense of achievement, of fulfillment that comes from having those challenges. He didn't actually explain it like that. He wanted to explain that the greatest life ever is one that does not include any social media or any like electronic devices, but actually just going into the woods and living there, because every single part of the survival mode life, when you need to go hunting, you need to go doing this type of things, gives you that fulfillment, and that's correct. uh, but not everyone's gonna live that life, and that's not a possibility for everyone, and it's not really necessary if you don't like it. But you can actually set a lot of like steps in the way of your life, so that you can actually still get that sense of fulfillment and happiness. And I do think happiness comes from that, not from the uh search of it, but for actually the action, taking action in your life and trying to achieve things and set goals and try to aim for them. And if everything goes wrong, still do it. That's going to build confidence, so you feel better about yourself and you know more about yourself. This is a great way to be in life about that. Like, really, people don't actually understand that. I had that time in high school when I had a friend, and he always spoke of himself so good. He always was like, "I'm a god. I'm the best ever. I'm the most ruthless champion that's ever been," like Mike Tyson. But no, that was ego, and he knew he wasn't. And every single Sunday, he would come up to me and say, "I don't know what to do with my life. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't feel good. I'm not good. I'm not a god. I'm not the best ever. I'm not the most ruthless champion that's ever been." And then you know that you need action to have that backup on your brain, so that your brain knows that's what's coming out of your mouth. It's true. That's achievable. That's you.